All right, Shalom, Shalom. First and foremost, call hello Yahweh, Bahashem, Yahweh Shai, Bahashem, Kakadash. Of course, double honors go out to the apostles of Great Millstone. This is Naaman.
Yeah, what's up?
All right, and today we're going to talk about the C-19, the pandemic. All right. Go ahead, take it away.
Yeah, first of all, the United States got 25 million cases of this coronavirus, about 429,000 deaths.
Yeah, okay.
And it's contingent,
Yeah.
They don't, the vaccine, people that take it, they said if you're over 65, they said it don't affect you no way, So and half of the people, some people died. They took it,
Mm-hmm.
But they're gonna get worse,
Yeah.
like that,
All right, here's the thing. By and large, we know this is some BS. All right. Not saying that it doesn't exist. We know it's different. The one on the back of your, Lysol in the list of things it's supposed to kill. All right. Coronavirus exists. There's different strains to it, but it's being highly exaggerated for purposes of inoculating you against something else. All right. I didn't plan on getting into that, but so they won't say that we're spreading misinformation. And in the meantime, they're the ones guilty of that. All right. This is called gaslighting. Let me read the definition of gaslighting. All right. Gaslighting is a form of psychological manipulation in which a person or a group covertly sows seeds of doubt in a targeted individual or group, making them question their own memory, perception, or judgment. It may evoke changes in them such as cognitive dissonance. Let's look that up. Cognitive dissonance occurs when a person holds contradictory beliefs, ideas, or values, and is typically experienced with psychological stress when they participate in an action that goes against one or more of them. So you start to question yourself, all right? Or low self-esteem, all right? Subjective evaluation of their own worth. Self-esteem encompasses beliefs about oneself as well as emotional states such as triumph, despair, pride, and shame. All right, you're walking around here with a damn face diaper, all right, and it's not going to protect you. They've even been caught, so-called experts have been caught, all right, contradicting themselves. All right, like I said, this is one huge psyop, but again, I can't tell you not to take, and even if it's just to exist in this society, because you know that without it, you're going to get all kinds of dirty looks, and it's the purpose of this also is to turn people against each other, create confusion, all right, further confusion. And we know also that this past presidential election, what did it do? It got the individual out of the way that was standing in their way of accomplishing what they want to accomplish. Whatever you want to say about Trump, he was not for this. Trump is not a globalist, like the people that you were tricked into electing in office now. They're going to go along with what the elites and what the globalists want. All right? Trump did not want that. So whatever they won't have to do, if he had stayed in office, all right, they couldn't afford to do that. So manipulate the numbers, however you want to put it, they got his butt up out of there, all right? And now with this so-called insurrection, we know that that was planned too. Now all the people are going to be lumped together that disagree with what's coming down the pike. And that is all these machinations. They can go forth with their agenda now. All right, so you're going to see camps spring up. People that don't want this thing that's trying to be forced on them, but we're going to have to set them to the side because now they're dangerous. Now they're anti-vaxxers. They're anti-mask. All right. So it's going to get rough out here. So we're going to go ahead and let me finish this. Going on gaslighting, it says rendering the victim additionally dependent on the gaslighter for emotional support and validation, using denial, misdirection, contradiction, and misinformation. They're the ones guilty of this. Gaslighting involves attempts to destabilize the victim and delegitimize the victim's beliefs. So now you look like you're crazy because you dare to question what's going on. Wait a minute. So you got this magic virus that if you're within 6 feet, it's going to jump from one person to the other. All right. A mask that is this thing supposed to be so deadly. You wearing this porous mask that evidently you can breathe air in and out. So what's stopping anything from getting in? You see what they're asking you to believe here? A virus is 1,000 times smaller than a bacteria. And yet, even when you breathe out, when you cough, normally the droplets that would come out if your face was uncovered. So by masking, if you've heard of an atomizer, when you get this little spray bottle, it makes the droplets that much smaller so they can travel through the air. So actually your mask aids in the spread of it. Not only that, you're subject, because you're wearing this damn thing all the time, you're bringing in your waste, which is CO2. Not only that, it's moist, so it breeds bacteria. So now you're subjected to bacterial pneumonia. It's crazy. It says instances can range from the denial by an abuser that previous abusive incidents occurred to belittling the victim's emotions and feelings, to the staging of bizarre events by the abuser, which in this case are the scientists, all right, these doctors and the WHO and all this, because like I say, they have an agenda. All you have to do is look up Klaus, Klaus Schwab, all right, that's the individual that's pushing this mixing or combining man with machine, all right. It says the goal of gaslighting is to gradually undermine the victim's confidence in their own ability to distinguish truth from falsehood. That's all I need to read on that. All right, that's what's really going on here. All right. Meanwhile, you got these idiots running around here like whatever they say, the government's word is law. You must abide. Again, pitting the people with common sense against fucking idiots, all right? And while this is going on, while it worsens, and it's going to get worse because people are fed up. This is around the world. This is globally, all right? So now you're going to have these factions possibly fighting against each other, and what's going to happen, all right? He's going to come in, I got the solution, because everybody's so beaten down and trodden down and tired and worn out. We'll accept what you offer. That's what he wants. All right, so let's get some scriptures. Did you have any else? Go ahead.
Okay. First I want to read about. They say it's another disease coming out.
Oh, of course it is.
What they call it? Disease X.
Oh,
yeah,
okay. So it's an unknown thing.
Okay. I'm just reading. Yet, according to one infectious disease expert, another pandemic could be just around the corner, meaning the time to act preventively is now. He got his. Okay, he explained, we thought that the next emerging pandemic might be a virus that we don't even know about yet. Quite frankly, we thought it was most likely a scenario. Okay, I'm gonna jump.
You say scenario?
Yeah, scenario.
Hmm.
Okay.
Most likely scenario. Okay.
Yeah.
I got you.
Okay. The new virus is so closely related to SARS, so they absolutely pinpointed it as one of the threats. X is the next disease. X could be potentially around the corner.
Could be.
Professor Woodley said absolutely. Speaking independent, he said you could use the phrase, it is when, not if. Okay. Anyway, they saying it's more deadly than COVID.
Yet they know this aforetime and they can't identify.
Yeah.
How is that possible?
That's what they say. It's like it's more deadly. It's gonna be more deadly than COVID. The COVID.
They're not saying could be. They're saying definitely it is.
Yeah, definitely it is. This one, like that. Okay. It's crazy. Okay, I got a precept.
Go ahead.
Deuteronomy. Deuteronomy 28 and 21. The Most High shall make the pestilence cleave unto thee, until he have consumed thee from off the land, whether thou go to possess it. The Most High shall spite thee with a consumption, and with a fever, and with a inflammatory, and with a stream burning, and with the sword, and with blasting, and with mildew. They shall pursue thee until thou perish.
Yeah. But see, here's the thing about this so-called pandemic. What I just read to you about gaslighting, these mind games, the thing is, the threat does not have to be real to accomplish what they want. You're seeing the effects of it now. All right? People are acting absolutely irrational. All right, these are people that otherwise you would think were, I don't know, reasonably intelligent individuals. But, again, blind fear, all right, making you question your very sanity out of fear for something that probably any 10th or 11th grader that's ever taken any kind of, definitely someone that's been in the, nursing school or anything like that. Like, wait a minute now, come on. And it's like every other way of dying, any other method of death, you don't even hear about it anymore. I shit you not, a few months back, an individual died. He fell off, I think he was working construction. He fell off a roof. All right. Don't you know they linked that this C-19? I mean, if you at this point, and I know a lot of you have, and you probably just don't want to say it out loud, what do you think push these people, I guess you could say over the edge, I don't know, but this was partly responsible for this insurrection here in D.C. on the 6th of this month, right? Because they're tired of the BS. They've already figured out that this is done. I mean, the middle class is done, and all this has been done on purpose. All right, how many people that were already rich? I mean, what was the stat? Billionaires, they increased their wealth by, 27% or something like that? So this massive transfer of wealth, otherwise this would not have been possible, the way it's done, all right? Anyway, you're so focused on this, you're not paying attention to everything else around you. And for us, this is Psalms 91:6. It says, well, I'll start at 5. It says, thou shalt not be afraid for the terror by night, nor for the arrow that flieth by day. It says, nor for the pestilence that walketh in darkness. In darkness because what? These are things that are so small you can't see them with the naked eye. All right. It says, nor for the destruction that wasteth at noonday. And that's talking about those nukes right there. But you should not fear. Why? Because, hey, let's go. Well, we can just stay in Psalms for this. This is Psalms 23:4. And it says, yea, though I walk through the valley of the shadow of death, I will fear no evil, for thou art with me. Thy rod and thy staff, they comfort me. All right? Again, we always to pray. Pray always. All right? Especially now. Because this devil knows, like the scriptures say in Revelation 12:12, he hath but a short time. He knows this. People are on to him. More and more people are waking up by the day. Wait a minute, these things didn't add up. What I was taught when I was growing up, this school system / fool system, all right, it was nothing but lies. All right, and we're out here where, the only weapon that we have is the truth. This is Hosea chapter 6:5. It says, therefore have I shewed them by the prophets. I have slain them by the words of my mouth, and thy judgments are as the light that goeth forth. All right, and how could that be? All right, you cannot go to this devil's seminaries and theology schools, all right, to learn the truth. This was only meant for one specific group of people, and that's the Israelites, the real Israelites. And that knowledge of this book is going to come through them. This is Amos chapter 3:7. It says, surely the Most High Yahweh will do nothing, but he revealeth his secret unto his servants, the prophets. The only prophets, true prophets, are Israelites. No Muhammad or any other that crap, all right? I'm going to try to tell you of your book, the Holy Scriptures. All right, it's just not it. Did you have any others? Go ahead.
Yeah. Okay, this is Jeremiah 14:12. Okay, when they fast, I will not hear their cry, and when they offer burnt offerings and oblations, I will not accept them, but I will consume them by the sword, and by the famine, and by the pestilence.
Yeah, because Jacob's wicked. All right? Nothing that's going on, of course, yeah, we know that ultimately everything centers around Israel. All right? Zechariah 12:3-4. All right? Make Jerusalem a burdensome stone. All right? This is Baruch 2:20. 25, it says, and lo, they are cast out to the heat of the day and to the frost of the night, and they died in great miseries by famine, by sword, and by pestilence. All right? And that's coming, like I said, in great numbers. That's actually coming because a lot of people, they're having trouble. Even those that had, I don't know, somehow were foolish enough to get the first shot, they're not going to get the second one. And I just did a video earlier about they're linking our people with those idiots that raided the Capitol here in D.C. They're linking us with the Proud Boys and those right-wing fascists. Yes, it was on Democracy Now! Today is January 28th. Watch today's episode of Democracy Now! They got this doctor from Texas, I forget his, oh crap, I had it, wait a minute. Dr. Peter Hotez, Hotez, and he works at the children's hospitals down there. And the stuff he's spewing out of his mouth, all right, he, to me, is one of those that's glad, and I'm trying to remember the woman's name. She was held office in the Trump administration, but she spoke of how you had so many C-19 deniers in the Trump administration, further letting you know that they were glad and they were trying to get rid of this guy, Trump, because he was not on board with what they're trying to do. So they had to delegitimize this guy, all right? And yes, he gave them plenty of ammo. Let's not disregard that. It was so easy, all right? But this guy was set up. They want him now. Every time, this anti-man thing has been going around too, all right? So now this Biden administration comes in. Now you're gonna have all kinds of freaks in the administration. You got this one they appointed to a cabinet post is a drag queen or some shit. And you're looking at the picture, you're like, get the hell, open. And Biden rescinded this, where these transsexuals couldn't serve in the military openly. So now you don't know what's coming in the bathroom behind you. Again, everybody's so distracted about this so-called pandemic, they're pushing all this other crap. And people are just going along with it. That's what it was intended to do. So it's going to get worse. And people talking about, we're so glad 2020 is gone. You idiot. It's only going to get worse. Again, this man has a short time. He knows this. People are on to him. So eventually he's going to have to resort to his primary blessing, and that is the sword. The deceit isn't working like he thought it would. All right, so he's going to have to do it. It's being revealed. Anything else?
Yeah.
Go ahead.
Ezekiel 33 and 27. Say thou thus unto them, thus says the Most High, as I live, surely they that are in the waste shall fall by the sword, and him that is in the open field will I give to the beast to be devoured, and they that be in the fort and in the cave shall die of pestilence. Right? I guess that referring to
Go to Jeremiah 15:3. Babylon here, Babylon the Great has a whole lot to answer for. Go ahead, when you get it.
okay.
Has a whole lot to pay for. All right.
Okay. Jeremiah 15:3. I will point over them 4 kinds, says the Most High. The sword to slay, the dog to tear, and the fowls of the heavens, and the beasts of the earth to devour and destroy.
Yep. There's going to be so much death. And there's another scripture where Most High promised the fowls a great feast. All right. So many dead bodies. All right. I'm paraphrasing there, but yeah. So there's no hope for this land. And like I said, people are waking up. Nobody wants to deal. The money system Everybody's trying to get away from the American dollar. All right, and that's the big thing, because everybody's another way to distract the people. Like I said, that old saying said, always follow the money. Again, with this so-called disease, everybody's not doing that, and that's all you have to do. What's happening is the old system, the dollar, physical money, it's over. But what they're doing is they're trying to extend it until this new system is able to come online. All right, because they want everything digital. That way you can't have a side hustle without them knowing about it, without them being able to tax you. More control. I can get whatever like, I'm gonna leave it like that. I was gonna say something, but no, I'm gonna keep it clean. Anything I do, they're gonna know about it. That's a whole new method of slavery. Now that I say that, that's what this is all about. Think about what is the most profitable industry you can ever partake in, that all these others don't even come close to. Slavery. Slavery didn't end because they finally saw the light. No, they didn't have a means to perfect it, to perfect it, because the technology was not there. Now they can. Now if there's an uprising, all I have to do is send a drone. They put it in the system, push the button, you through. The whole block is just wiped out. Or city or whatever. All right, you want to complain, you want to, against what I'm doing, I can just cut you off. Revelation 13, 16, and 17. He calls us all, both small and great, rich and poor. All right? That's how. Remember, what does the word, examine the word cause there. Compel is another word you can substitute. How do I compel? What is it I can... See, you have to come through me now. You can't, all these mom and pop stores and all that are being squeezed out for a reason. Now what's going to remain are the big box stores, the corporate, all right? And they have to do, me as the government, what I say. Whereas you might catch a break from, your local store owner, might feel sorry for you, like, go ahead, I'll still accept a little cash. Go ahead and, no, they're gone. You have no choice unless you just want to, and a lot of people are going to do that. You're going to see a lot of people head for the hills. All right, like I said, all these camps are going to spring up, these empty Walmarts and things of that nature. All right, they're not just there, just rotting away from nothing. All right, because the crisis to come, where there's going to be total anarchy, FEMA takes over. So it'd be a good time for you to check, if you weren't aware of the machinations of this government, I really suggest you check into that. And in case you didn't, if you don't have anything else, I'm gonna wrap it up. But I know I haven't been keeping track of the time, but I know we.
Just one more.
Good.
Ezekiel 5 and 12. A third part of thee shall die with the pestilence, and with the famine shall they be consumed in the midst of thee, and a third part shall fall by the sword around about thee, and I will scatter a third part into all the wind, and I will draw out a sword after them.
Yep. And like I say, it's not saying that they couldn't release something like, that bodies would drop in front of you, but the risk in doing that, they'll get caught up in it. Because a lot of people just started disappearing, and where's so-and-so that work high-level government, and all of a sudden they're gone and their family's gone, and you're, wait a minute. And now all of a sudden a lot of people start dying. unless you're just woefully stupid, all right, you're going to catch on to that. But you see all these people every day in front of you, and a lot of you are hypocrites, and what I mean by that is, here it is every year, especially this time of year, you know, you got cold and flu season. A lot of you, I didn't never see you wear masks, wear gloves, getting on the bus, I mean, wiping down shit. I've always done that whenever I went to, especially like a supermarket or anywhere like that, I always wiped down shit. And I'm not exaggerating in the least, I always did that. But now all of a sudden, and you don't understand the game that's being played here. Again, to be cautious, protect yourself. No one's telling you not to. I'm not. All right? But just be aware of what's really going on here. All right? Start looking for beyond what's in front of you. That's what I'm trying to say. Dig deeper. Question. All right? So if nothing else, all right, we're going to call it, wow. Keep your head on a swivel up. Now more than ever. Because who knows what this devil's going to keep throwing out. You keep hearing all these hundreds of millions of doses that he wants done by, I guess, his first 100 days or some crap like that. All right. So, hey, pray for your brethren. All right. And their families. Pray continually, as the scriptures say. So with that, we're going to call Allah Yahweh, by Hashem, Yahweh Shah, by Hashem, by Kadash. And of course, once again, double honors to the apostles and elders of Great Millstone, who, through the Spirit, continue to teach us this truth. All right, with all honesty. So with that, and humility. So with that, shalom.
Shalom.
Oh.